All right, we got Tyler Childers. I've never heard any of his songs before, so this is a first for me listening to him. Have you ever heard of any of his?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So I found them on the trending list. So I was just browsing and I'm curious. Tyler Childers.
I will wait for you till the sun turns into ashes and bows down to the moon. I'll wait for you. It's a long, hard war, oh, but I can grin and bear it, 'cause I know what the hell I'm fighting for, and I'll wait for you. We were never made to run forever. We were just meant to go long enough to find what we were chasing after. I believe I found it here in your love. I will stand my ground. I'm a bad man looking for takers. You're the finest thing around, so I will stand my ground. 'Cause it's cold out there, and you know some men search for ages for the love that I have found, so I will stand my ground. We were never made to run forever. We were just meant to go long enough to find what we were chasing after. I believe I found it here in your love. Honey, I will wait for you. Honey, I will stand my ground. I will work for you till my hands are tired and bleeding. I know what it is from us I'm needing. I will work for you like a team of mules pulling hell off from its hinges. It's the love that I'll keep tending. I will work for you. We were never made to run forever. We were just meant to go long enough to find what we were chasing after. I believe I found it here in your love. Honey, I will wait for you. Honey, I will stand my ground. I will work for you. I will stand my ground.
I love that for them it was the four-leaf clover that symbolized like their connection, you know? Like that was the first thing that he gave him when they were in the forest, and then he was reminded of it, I think, when he was just going through the field.
Yeah, and overall it was obviously like a sad story of a couple that went through trials and tribulations, like you've seen in the initial part of the video. Like they got into a fight with those two guys, and I think it was because of their relationship, it seemed like, but they got through that. They fought, but they got through that, which kind of shows like what they had to go through to even be together, right? And then eventually they found a way to be together, and it seemed like everything was going well. Their families got together, had a dinner, and then the issue with the guy's health and him sticking through it. You see him getting frustrated. So obviously, it's a story of love and being in a relationship, but then the aspect of losing someone that you care about, and then you kind of see that obviously towards the end.
Yeah. It's also a story, like a love story that was developed in like a cave. I thought it was very deliberate how they chose a cave of all things, right? And I think the cave symbolizes how their relationship had to be like in a very hidden, dark space.
Right.
And it's ironic that one of them gets sick, and I'm assuming they got sick from. Actually, I don't know, but for some reason I was like, oh, like I wonder if they got sick from working in the cave. Like those conditions are not the best, and so you're breathing these particles that can be, that can have like a negative impact on your health, and so, I think that also kind of adds on to like the tragedy of one, you're in a relationship that you almost have to be like very secretive about, and you finally have the strength to not run from it, but now settle in a house. And I think that scene where they move into a house, like it's, I think, portraying how they're finally like planting. I don't know where that accent came from. They finally planted their feet in a space, and so they're kind of like settling and finally making a family, and so it's very positive in that sense. But one of them is still dealing with health issues. It's sad. It's tragic. It's relatable for people who may not be dealing with someone in their lives that's dealing with like a health issue, but it's relatable for those that feel like they have to run away and find a place where they feel like they can be themselves. I feel like it still happens today, where people feel like they're not accepted because of, who they choose to love.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, to your point, like the health issue, it's not like central to the theme really, because, initially he uses war, and it's a really fitting metaphor, but he uses war to describe love, right?
At first I thought he was actually talking about war. Like I thought it was like actually taking place during a time when there was war going on.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. So like his line, I will wait for you till the sun turns into ashes and bows down to the moon. I'll wait for you. It's a long, hard war. But I can grin and bear it because I know what the hell I'm fighting for, and I'll wait for you. So it's this idea of, whatever comes up, it doesn't matter because like you're committed to this and this is what you want. And so you're willing to go through whatever trials and tribulations that you have to go through to be in a relationship. So it's a very, obviously very romantic song. And, you know, you see the physical fighting, but then you see also the internal conflict, like some of the dread, like just imagine being with someone and knowing that they're sick and their time is limited. And obviously everyone's time is limited, but, you know, to know that pretty soon that you're going to lose that person and you having to continue to live on, it's a very tough pill to swallow for most people, if not for, I don't want to say everyone, but for most people for sure. It'd be very hard to cope with that. And yet he does, and he uses like the 4-leaf clover as like memorabilia. It's a lot of sentimental value because it was given to him by him. And then
And that horse.
that
I'm
horse.
a sucker for horses. That horse was cute. I really like the way that it sounded.
Yeah, it sounds really good. It's very mellow for me.
Like, I'm a sucker for the idea of like someone waiting for someone. Like, I love that idea.
I bet.
It's romantic.
Yeah.
Like you said.
Yeah.
Meow.